Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist James Long with Dynamic Weather Agency LLC, and today we're going to continue to talk about that major winter storm system in the Midwest that is going to continue its way to the northeast tomorrow and through the weekend. The system continues to bring snowfall, high winds, and blizzard conditions to the Midwest. The system will bring rain to the coast as well as a wintry mix of snow to areas further inland and into the mountains of parts of the northeast. We'll also even see some lake effect snow on parts of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario behind the system. Snow will continue to linger throughout the Midwest behind the system, as you'll see later on in this video. But first, before I could get into today's video, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel for more weather-related videos like this, and share this video with your friends and family so we can help make this channel grow. Also, be sure to check us out on social media where you can send us your weather-related photos and videos so that we'd love to share in our future and upcoming videos. The links to our social media pages are found below down in the description. You can also visit us online at dynamicweatheragency.com for more weather-related information. Last but not least, be sure to check out our Patreon page to help support this channel so I can continue to make weather-related content like this or storm chasing videos like you can see down below, and fund some research we have here at dynamicweatheragency.com. Again, the link's going to be down in the description. We have many exclusive content and early access for our Patreon supporters, so be sure to check that out. Taking a look at our current national Doppler radar, we do have some snowfall occurring in parts of the upper Mississippi Valley, the upper Midwest region. We do see some of those rain conditions occurring just along and ahead of the cold front, with some snow moving into parts of Michigan this morning. Now, as we take a closer look at our radar, zooming on into the Midwest and the Central Plains a little bit, we can see some of the snow conditions occurring in Sioux City, Sioux Falls, Omaha, Nebraska, and Kansas City this morning. As we move over to Michigan, you can see places like Grand Rapids and Big Rapids, Lansing, Michigan, are all seeing some snow conditions too this morning with this major winter storm as it begins to push its way on through. So taking a look at our water vapor imagery, again, this is showing the measurable water content in our atmosphere. We have that nice upper level ridge across parts of the west coast region that's going to begin to subside, bring some moisture back into the region, as we see later on in this video. We have this nice deep upper level trough across parts of the central U.S. It's bringing a nice push of cold air. See some of that moisture wrapping around this low pressure system located over parts of Iowa, southwestern Wisconsin, and northwestern Illinois today. And again, we have this nice upper level ridge blocking this flow. We have this nice deep upper level trough bringing this nice push of cold air into the region, and we have this nice major winter storm that's kind of stalled out over this region right now. Now, as we take a look at our national forecast, this is our national forecast we posted yesterday, and we're expecting that major winter storm to bring some of those heavy snowfall conditions to parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, parts of Iowa yesterday. We were seeing some of those blizzard conditions further to the west. And as we take a look at our snowfall map today, you'll see the snowfall, while the snowfall map today is showing less snowfall in that area, is because most of the snowfall has already occurred in the last 24 hours since we posted our last video. So we're only going to see just a little bit of additional snowfall across some of that region. Now, we have increased snowfall totals across parts of the northeast, as you'll see on the next page. So on our now current 72-hour forecast, we were talking about that upper level ridge in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to see some troughing move in. It's going to allow for some more moisture flow. So we'll see rain showers, mountain snow conditions return to parts of the Northwest. Again, we're expecting to see snowfall chances increase now in parts of the upper plains region with the next system. Now, as I talked about in parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, we're expecting to see some additional snowfall today, some blizzard conditions further to the west as the system slowly progresses its way to the east, bringing some snowfall to parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, where we can see some areas of 1 to 2 inches of snow, with some greater snowfall amounts possible across Lake Superior with some lake effect enhancements, and in Michigan. And again, we increased those snowfall totals in parts of the northeast, as now we're adding another 24-hour period as the system slowly progresses its way over there. So now we have increased the snowfall totals for that region, and we also have more confidence as model consistency becomes greater across that region. Now, not only do we have winter effects with this system, we're also seeing some very high winds with this major winter storm due to that steep pressure and contour gradient aloft, allowing some of those winds to mix down to the surface. Some impacts we can see with some of these high wind warnings are the damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines, causing some widespread power outages across some of these areas, and travel conditions will be difficult to high-profile vehicles as we have seen reports of semis blown over due to some of these high winds. And these high wind warnings are expected to persist into the evening hours today. Now, yesterday in the video, I wanted to post this graphic of some of these storm reports of some of these high wind reports across the upper plains in the Midwest region. And taking a look at some of the storm reports from the 13th to today, you can see some of those very strong wind reports as we have across the region. Colorado, 116 mile an hour winds, wind gusts. And these are wind gusts occurring outside of thunderstorms. These are non-convective winds. These are, again, due to that steep pressure gradient and contour gradient loft, with the winds mixing down to the surface. And, these winds right here that we're seeing, being outside of thunderstorms, thunderstorm winds can last, from, 30, 45 minutes, maybe some strong wind gusts lasting for 5 to 10 minutes. These winds were persisting for hours across this region as the system slowly moved from the upper Great Plains to the Midwest region. As we take a look at some of these other, non-convective wind gust reports, 109 miles per hour, Utah, 107 miles per hour, Utah, Wyoming, 105 miles per hour, and all these down below are in the 90s to upper 80 mile per hour winds. Those are very, very strong wind gusts that can cause some significant damage. And we were seeing power outages, and we were also seeing down tree limbs, snap power poles, and overturned semis across this region. Now, if you want to put those winds into perspective as in tornadoes or hurricanes, 116 mile an hour wind gusts or strongest wind gusts equates to an EF2 tornado or a Category 3 hurricane, while most of the other areas we're seeing EF1 to EF0 winds or Category 1 hurricane style winds. And you could just imagine the type of damage that an EF0 or EF1 tornado can do. And these were non-convective wind gusts that were doing this, that were persisting for hours. So just imagine some of the damage that these winds were causing, uprooting trees, snapping power poles, and causing semis to be overturned due to these high winds. So now taking a look at our service chart, we were talking about this, steep pressure gradient, and the pressure gradient force is the driving factor of our winds. It's basically the change in pressure over a distance. The stronger the change of pressure is over a shorter distance, the stronger winds. The weaker the change of pressure is over a short distance, the lesser are the winds. So as you take a look at the upper Great Plains and the upper Midwest and the Central Plains, you can see all these pressure contours. How many of these contours you're crossing over a short distance? Take a look at the Southeast. Look how much more farther you have to travel just to cross each one of these pressure contours. This is why they have lighter winds down here and very strong winds up here today. Also, note the pressure difference. 1,040 millibar, 41 millibar, high pressure center over the Northwest. We have this deep low pressure center of about 990 millibars. We're talking about a 50 millibar difference between the pressures. That is a strong change in pressure over a very short distance, causing these very strong, gradient winds across this region. And as we take a look at our 850 millibar winds, these are just a little bit higher up in the atmosphere. You see that steep contour gradient we have across the upper Great Plains and the upper Midwest with this closed low pressure system, this deep closed low. Again, you have this nice area of high pressure over the western U.S. You have this nice deep area of low pressure over the Great Lakes region, driving this strong contour gradient of winds throughout this region. You can see some of these winds just 60, 70 knots just above the surface, and these winds are just mixing down to the surface. Again, as we take a look at our forecast skew T across this area, you can see these nice zonal winds. Look at these winds. They're almost the same direction throughout the column of the atmosphere. And these strong winds at the surface is causing some turbulent mixing, and with the cold air advection, these winds are mixing its way back down to the surface, allowing these winds to push their way down to the surface with these 65, 70 knot winds in this area. Now, as we take a look at our current wind gusts, you could just see some of those very strong wind gusts still occurring across parts of South Dakota, Nebraska, into Kansas, with some of those 40 to 60 mile per hour winds still occurring across this region where we have those high wind warnings in effect. Now, taking a look at some of the snowfall reports over the last 48 hours, well, more the last 24 hours, but You can see some of the snowfall totals occurring across parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. You can see some of those 4 to 5s that we have in Minnesota and Iowa, but based off this dark blue. And you can see some of those light yellows indicating some of those 6 to 8 inches of snow, which lines up pretty good with our snowfall forecast map that we had across this region. And we're still expecting some additional snowfall today. As you saw, we're still seeing snowfall across that area on our current national radar. Now, as in for winter weather hazards, we do have winter weather advisories and blizzard conditions in parts of the upper Midwest, upper Mississippi Valley, and parts of the Plains region. We do have some winter weather advisories already in effect for parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. And then we also have winter weather advisories and winter storm watches already in effect for parts of the Northeast. So as we take a closer look at parts of the Midwest, upper Mississippi Valley region, we still have those blizzard warnings in effect today due to some of the very strong winds in that area, causing that blowing to drifting snow, reducing visibility to less than 1/4 of a mile for up to 3 hours or more across this region, which is the conditions needed to be a blizzard. These blizzard warnings are going to remain in effect until about 6 p.m. Central Standard Time this evening. We're still expected to see some additional snow accumulation across this area of basically 1 to 3 inches, which will, put us in that about 5 to 8 inches to 8 to 12 inches of snow across parts of these areas. We do have those winter storm watches and winter weather advisories in effect for parts of the Northeast. As you can see, some of those winter storm watches for parts of New York and Maine this morning. We also have those winter weather advisories for parts of upper New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire. As we take a look at our winter storm severity index, we do have some of those minor and moderate winter storm conditions occurring across parts of Iowa, Minnesota, and Missouri today. As we move into tomorrow, you can see some of those minor impacts in parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, and then those minor and moderate impacts in parts of the Northeast Territory region. And as we move into day 3, again, we're not expecting to see much of impacts, but we will see some of those minor impacts in parts of the Northeast. So as we mentioned, those minor impacts are going to equate to about those NWS advisory level criteria, only causing some minor disruptions to primarily those who are not prepared for this event with minimal recovering time after this event. And then those moderate impacts are roughly equate to those NWS warning level criteria, defining impact with definite impacts to those with little preparation. Prepare perhaps a day or two of recovery time for the snow and ice accumulation to subside. So taking a look at what's going on synoptically, taking a look at the Pacific Northwest, we have that nice sharp amplitude upper level ridge in the area. As we move on through time, we'll see that ridge subside just a little bit with another re-amplification of that upper level ridge, blocking some of that moisture flow across that region. As we move further on later in time, towards the end of this forecast loop, we'll begin to see that nice upper level trough begin moving into the region. That's going to start bringing some of that moisture flow back into the area, where we'll start seeing those wet conditions and those mountain snow move into this to the northwest. Now, taking a look at the central US, again, we have this nice deep upper level trough across the region that's bringing this nice push of cold air in our jet stream. We have this nice jet max moving through the central plains region that's going to continue to dive its way down into this trough, helping deepen this trough across the area. With this jet max ahead of it, we have this 500 millibar shortwave and 700 millibar shortwave trough that is not supporting this upper level low, which is why this upper level low has become closed and stalled across this region. It's going to begin to fill as these systems continue to push out ahead of this upper level low. Now, as we mentioned, as that jet max moves into that trough, we're going to see that trough deepen. We'll start seeing this area of shared energy develop across parts of the southeast as the PFJ, our polar front jet, interacts with our subtropical jet, causing this nice area of shared energy, as they'll be within 6 degrees of latitude within each other. That's causing this nice area of shared energy and this false jet max across the region. And we have this nice diffluent flow out ahead of this, and ahead of that we still have that shortwave that's going to support the development of this new low pressure system as the system moves into the northeast and brings some of that snowfall to that region. Again, now taking a look at our 500 millibar chart, taking a look at vorticity, again, you see that nice sharp amplitude upper level ridge in the Pacific Northwest. You have this nice deep upper level trough, nice push of cold air moving into the region. We have our shortwave down here at the base of the trough, not supporting this upper level low, stalling it out over the region as the jet max continues to push that trough, that shortwave further to the south. Now take a look at that upper level low across our region. Look at these vorticity lobes spin around that upper level low, causing some of that upward vertical motion. Now take a look at that vorticity lobe right there. That strong vorticity lobe wrapping around that upper level low that's going to begin to push that upper level low out of that region into the northeast, where it's going to bring some of that snowfall, and we're going to see that development of that new low pressure system across the region. Again, taking a look at our 500 millibar chart, we have this nice upper level ridge and this Rex blocking pattern for this high over this low. We have some nice cold air advection, neutral vorticity advection moving in, bringing drier, more stable conditions to the upper Great Plains and the Great Plains region behind this system for the next couple of days. We have this nice deep upper level trough. Again, bringing that push of cold air. We have this nice diffluent flow and positive vorticity advection out ahead of it. This is going to be a good area for cyclogenesis for our next low pressure system to develop. And again, this is a nice mature system as we see this nice wave-induced ridge moving into parts of Canada. So taking a look at our futurecast radar, we have that low pressure system that's located over the Midwest Great Lakes region today. And that system is going to slowly progress its way to the east, and you'll see some of that snow begin to continue to wrap around that low pressure system as we move into the evening hours today and even into the morning hours of Saturday, moving its way further into the Ohio Valley region. Now, as we take a look at the northeast, we'll begin to see that low pressure system begin to develop, bringing some of that snowfall to the northeast tomorrow, even into parts of Sunday. And you can see some of that snow lingering around parts of the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley region. You can see some of that snowfall occurring still in parts of the Appalachian Mountain regions as we move in through Sunday morning, even into the afternoon, into the evening hours. As you take a look at the upper Great Plains region, you can see that next system that we depicted and we're talking about earlier in our 72-hour national forecast charts that we're going to begin seeing some of that mountain snow in parts of the northwest, and that next system begin moving into the upper Great Plains, and you can see that right here Monday. Now, taking a look at our weather models, taking a look at the European model solution for the next 72 hours. Heavy snowfall in the northeast, some snow conditions in the Appalachian Mountain region, a little swath of 1 to 3 inches of snow stretching all the way from Illinois to Ohio, 3 to 4 inches of snow across parts of Michigan today. Got a little bit of 2 to 4 inches of snow across parts of Wisconsin. Then as we move into Iowa and Minnesota, you can see basically 1 to 3 inches of snow with some enhanced snowfall totals across parts of northern Iowa and southern Minnesota, according to the European model. As you take a look at the GFS has that similar area of that high snowfall totals across northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, but you see the snowfall totals are a little bit less across parts of the Midwest and Wisconsin and parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. This, however, is expecting higher snowfall totals across parts of the Appalachian Mountain region, still seeing the similar conditions in parts of the northeast. Taking a look at the UK map, this is looking more similar to the European model. Again, all three of these models are expecting that little area of enhanced snowfall today across parts of Minnesota and in Iowa. It does show a little bit of lake effect across Lake Superior. Again, this model is suggesting some of those more higher snowfall totals across Michigan. Agreements on the heavier snowfall across the Appalachian Mountain region, looking closer to the GFS than the European model. And all three models, significant snowfall across parts of the northeast as this system moves across there. Taking a look at the NAM 3 kilometer. NAM 3 kilometer looking similar to GFS UK Met across the region. So seeing a very consistent with that. Again, NAM is expecting that high snowfall in Iowa, Minnesota today. So maybe some isolated higher snowfall totals across parts of Michigan today. And then some of that mountain snow in the Appalachian, high snowfall in the northeast. Take a look at our National Weather Service blend of models. Blend of models looking similar again to the NAM, the UK Met across this area. Seeing very much of a consistency. Are seeing that 1 to 3 across parts of Illinois, Iowa, and Ohio. As we take a look at the National Weather Service forecast, though, National Weather Service forecast for the next 72 hours. Less snowfall across parts of the Midwest and parts of the plain upper Mississippi Valley region. They are expecting to see some of those 1 to 3 across parts of the Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, with some of those enhanced snowfall totals across Lake Superior, maybe some 3 to 4 across Michigan, some snowfall across the Appalachian Mountain region, and again, agreement on that snowfall in the northeast. As we take a look at our in-house model picked up on some of the stuff that the UK Met, the GFS, the European, the NWS blend of models, the NAM, on some of that maybe enhanced snowfall in this northern part of Iowa and southern part of Minnesota today. Again, our in-house model is picking up on some of that stuff in Michigan. It's also picking up on some of that lake effect up here. We're expecting to see some significant snowfall in some of the higher elevations of the Appalachian Mountain region. And again, we're in agreement with some of that snowfall across parts of the northeast. Taking a look at the northeast, you can see some of those heavy snowfall totals. You can see some of the lake effect snow expected across parts of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. And then you can see some of those higher snowfall totals with some of the higher elevations in parts of New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, and even to parts of Maine. And again, here's some of that high snowfall that we're expecting in parts of the Appalachian Mountain region and parts of West Virginia on our in-house model. So taking a look at our forecasted snowfall accumulated map, this is our map that we posted yesterday. These are the totals that we were expecting to see with this event within the next 72 hours. As we take a look at our forecasted 48, as we take a look at some of the snowfall reports, see some of those light yellows that we were talking about earlier, those 5 to 8s, those are lining up well with our forecast map. We're also seeing those 3 to 5s. Yep, our forecast map looks to be verifying well, and we're still expecting more snowfall today. So we take a look at our running total map for this event as we added our 72-hour forecast from today and our 72 forecast from yesterday. We did extend our area of lake effect snow further to the east on Lake Superior. We did increase our area of enhanced snowfall across Michigan, and we extended our 1 to 3 across parts of Illinois and Iowa, as you can see right here. Increased our lake effect across Lake Superior, added those areas of darker blue across Michigan, and extended this area of lighter blue across Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio for our running totals that go with our new 72-hour forecast, as we're still expecting some enhanced snowfall across parts of Iowa, parts of southern Minnesota today. We're expecting to see some little bit of lake effect on Lake Michigan, as you can see, and we're also expecting some heavier snowfall across the interior portions of Michigan, and then we're also expecting some lake effect snow across Lake Superior. Again, we extended that 1 to 3 further into parts of Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio for our 72-hour forecast map. Now, as you're wondering what can we expect across parts of the Northeast, here's our snowfall map for parts of the Northeast. The legend is right on up here for this map. We're expecting some significant lake effect that could bring some 8 to 12 inches of snow, probably around 10 inches of snow on Lake Erie, and again on Lake Ontario. We do have some of those higher snowfall totals of the 8 to 12, some of these areas of higher elevation in parts of Vermont and New Hampshire, and even to parts of Maine. Again, nice big swath of even 5 to 8 inches of snow with this event and some of those higher elevation areas with this. As you can see, we had that area 5 to 8 and some of those higher elevations and parts of the Appalachian Mountain regions too with this event. Big area of 1 to 3 and some 3 to 5 inches of snow surrounding that area too. Again, with these winter storms, accumulating snowfall is going to be a hazard. A little bit of freezing rain, not expecting much. Few hundredths of an inch if we have any freezing rain. Slippery road conditions due to the accumulating snowfall and those very light freezing rain conditions that we could see. Reduced visibility with some heavy snow, especially with those lake effect snow bands that we could see that could bring some very heavy snow rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. And then this can cause some major travel disruptions across the area. So taking a look at our severe weather outlook for the next couple of days, we're not expecting much in severe weather. Again, conditions are very stable across the region. I do plan to make a video taking a look at our spring severe weather forecast on whether we're going to see some above average, normal, or below average conditions for severe weather across the United States this season. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think on this upcoming severe weather season. If there's going to be, if you guys think severe weather is going to be above average, near average, or below average this upcoming season, let me know what you guys are taking a look at too, and I plan to make a great video on that here within the next couple of days. Again, I would like to thank you guys for checking out today's video. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more weather related content like this. Be sure to share this video with your friends and family. If you haven't already, check us out on social media and our website, dynamicweatheragency.com, for more weather related information. Those links are down below in the description. Again, I'm meteorologist James Lamoth with Dynamic Weather Agency LLC, signing off. You guys have a great day.